It's PS Plus Extra and Premium time once again, the mid-month update that adds too many games to remember. So I'm here to run you through them all, from the juggernauts to the indie darlings. Like usual, please help me out with a like and tell me what you intend to play. I'm Adam. Hello there. Let's do this. First on Extra is the gigantic RPG Assassin's Creed Valhalla on both PS4 and PS5. We play as a Viking warrior named Eivor, who can be male or female. We then venture out of Norway and Denmark to find a new home in England. Trouble is, people already live there. Eivor's journey initially is focused around pillaging and melee combat in tight scenarios, but over time it tells a story of how the Vikings changed the lands around them and claimed kingdoms of their own. Valhalla does not really intend this to be a stealth game. Instead, it's an RPG where stats are constantly upgrading and improving, and the weapons we obtain are tossed aside moments later because better ones are here. Dialogue trees can impact story as alliances can be forged and broken in just one conversation. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a huge open world to explore with an average playthrough of 61 hours to get to the credits and 150 to see everything. This game wants to take over your life, and I'm getting deja vu. Was Valhalla already on this service at some point? Average review score, 84 out of 100. Another RPG this month is the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition on the PS5. This single-player sci-fi outing was crafted by the devs who made Fallout New Vegas, and it honestly feels like a space sequel to that game in many ways, especially the core gameplay and the dialogue. The Outer Worlds is a game that can be played multiple times with vastly different experiences, as almost every character is unalivable, and it's tough not to shoot them in their smug faces when receiving missions. This version of the Outer Worlds includes all additional content and is optimized to iron out a few technical issues in the original game. With a higher level cap, more companions, and more freedom, it's only a matter of time before you ignore the story completely and take matters into your own hands. Metacritic, 84%. Wait, there's another RPG for February, Tales of Arise on PS4 and PS5. Starring a slave who cannot feel pain and a slaver who cannot be touched. She literally sprouts out thorns if anyone tries. The two are forced to work together and slowly start to see each other's perspective. Gameplay is set around exploration, and then when fights begin, an invisible dome area blocks us in as we hack and slash through enemies. There is more skill to proceedings than it looks like, as a perfect dodge mechanic is here which immediately slows down time momentarily to let you get a few licks in for free. By fighting flawlessly for long enough, new mystic art can be unlocked and used to destroy anyone you face. The Tales series has had a few lows over the last 30 years, but Arise really showed gamers that the series has much more to offer. Metacritic 87%, which is the highest this month. Hey, do you want another action RPG? Okay, this is Tales of Zestiria, another Tales game. First released back in 2015, Zestiria plays much like the game we just talked about. It was also one of the first games to shift to an expansive open world. Everything plays vastly the same as the Arise game, with combat also introducing these synergy moves which look like they're directly taken from anime. Reviewers suggest playing Zestiria with friends is the way to play. PS4 on Metacritic 72%. If you only have time for one of these games, definitely play Arise. Let's get away from RPGs. Next, we have Need for Speed Unbound on the PS5, a stylized version of the street racing game which merges the real world with this cel-shaded comic book visual style. And yeah, it looks quite unique to me. The usual Need for Speed content is here with day and night races focused on winning as much as possible while simultaneously outsmarting the cops and staying out of handcuffs. Over time we build an extensive garage, and although it does not have the complexity of something like Gran Turismo, there is plenty of precision tuning and customization to delve into, and it has both a single and multiplayer campaign to race through. Metacritic 77 out of 100. Our customary LEGO game this month is LEGO Worlds, a procedurally generated LEGO universe to explore and manipulate dynamically. The idea is amazing, but the functionality is rather bad. Unlocking all the tools to design your world is done via a pseudo story that doesn't really do much. I don't like to poop on games, but honestly, do yourself a favour and avoid this like the plague. The free LEGO Fortnite game fixes almost every issue this game has, but officially it's a 66 out of 100. Luckily, there is a more traditional LEGO game this month, LEGO Jurassic World, a retelling of the 4 Jurassic films, Jurassic Park The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World. think that's the right order. There's a ton of Lego charm in these cutscenes which just make you love these games. The gameplay is more aligned to the typical Star Wars Lego and pretty much any franchise that has ever been Legoified. Collect studs, solve simple puzzles, hunt for collectibles, and enjoy the daft story. There are a few unique sequences from the movies recreated and expanded upon too. Average review score, 75 out of 100. Next, onto Roguebook, a roguelike deck building game. Essentially, this is a strategy game consisting of two characters that were sucked into this novel world. As we progress, we learn about the land we find ourselves in, and there's a few impressive boss fights and story beats to uncover, but ultimately, your enjoyment is solely decided by the cards that you find. A similar game to that is the dark fantasy roguelite named Rogue Lords, in which you play as the devil himself. In this one, there are no cards. Instead, we create perfect synergies using the power of our team. The devil was defeated many moons ago, but he's finally come back with his most faithful disciples to take revenge on those demon hunters. With Headless Horseman and even Dracula by your side, it's time to take back the world. Rogue Lords has a critical score of 72, but a user score of 4.2. Okay, here's my pick of the month, a random game you may have missed or not found time for in the past. And with the upcoming new South Park game arriving next month, my suggestion is to go back and play either of the South Park role-playing games, Stick of Truth or The Fractured Butthole. The 2.5D RPGs are filled with silly, edgy humour, some a little darker than you'd expect in 2024. And for that reason, I don't think they'll be around forever. So enjoy some dumb fun for the sake of dumb fun. Timmy! What Sony gives us with one hand, they take away with the other. On February 20th, we will lose access to the following games. Tekken 7, the excellent fighter, will be going away. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the first-person survival horror game, is leaving, and the puzzle platformers Hugh and Thomas Was Alone are going too. Add to that Ace Combat 7 on both standard and PSVR, Tacoma, Oninake, Lost Sphere, I Am Setsuna, and Lost Worlds Beyond the Page. All will be removed from PS Plus Extra on February 20th, giving you mere days to finish them. Good luck if you choose to. Okie dokie, over to premium games now, for those of us who shelled out even more money to PlayStation. Resistance Retribution is here from the PSP era. Sony Ben's attempt to fill the gap between Resistance 1 and 2 was quite impressive at the time, and is complemented by tons of shooting and blowing stuff up. And back then, this looked like a great game on PSP. Good times. Jet Rider 2 is from the PS1 era with some of the most treacherous tracks to wind through, and it also had two-player split screen. And then we have more Tales games, Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Vesperia. More action RPGs, pretty good ones for their time, and now the definitive versions drag older games into this century. So that's everything, all 13 games on premium and extra tier. What do you think of it? 9 on extra, 4 on premium. Are you happy, sad, delighted, mad? Frustrated, agitated, you get the idea. I hope you're a Tales fan. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.